Street 1994 Part 1 is a film that's been released on Netflix for quite some time, and this film is based off the R.L. Stine horror book series. Fear Street takes place in the year 1994, and it follows a group of teenagers as they discover the terrifying events that have haunted their town for generations may all be connected, and they may be the next targets themselves. Yeah, horror is my second favorite genre behind sci-fi, so going into this movie, one of my favorite things about this movie was its characters. Everyone had their moment of shine. There was some good performances in this movie, and also I like the energy of the characters. It was fun, but there is that one standout performance I had to point out. My favorite performance in this movie was a character, Dina Johnson. I feel like she had a groundbreaking performance. I mean, not groundbreaking, not like over the top, but like for a horror film, she delivered the acting chops. She delivered the intense emotional scenes of her character where I was like taken aback, and I was like, okay. While we following the story, you get a layout on its characters, get who these characters are, all from their personality traits and how they act. And from judging from their personality traits, when you watch this movie, they're cliche characters. They're simple cliche characters you have seen in your everyday horror film, but I feel like that's one of the positives in this movie that really gave the film some certain vibe. If you really think about it, the film is self-aware, sort of similar to Happy Death Day, where you have over-the-top characters in that movie, but yet it seems like the characters themselves are like aware of its own universe that is not supposed to take itself seriously. And that's pretty much what we get with the vibes in this movie. And the film is has some humor and has some comedic purposes as the reasoning of characters are acting a certain way. So I feel like the film is definitely self-aware when it comes to the horror elements, and I feel like that was actually effective for this movie. Yeah, so most people are going to say this film has a little bit of comparisons to Scream or something like that, but I disagree with that. Scream has nothing to do with the supernatural. This film follows more to that supernatural category, so I would say that it doesn't really have any type of Scream vibes, but I would understand why people are comparing this film to the Scream. Once we get into around our second act, we get an idea what the story is trying to tell. We get this mystery about why these monsters or why these creatures are coming out of the surface. What is going on with this town? There is this huge mystery revolving around this town that's connected to the other dates that you have seen, 1978 and 1666. So, and this film doesn't really flesh out the story because there's still more filler and backstory that needs to be fleshed out, because we still have two more subsequent films. One of the best things about this movie is you follow these characters, you follow this adventure. It is fun, it is thrilling. And then when we lead on to our third act, there are some twists and turns that the film holds no barred. They take certain characters to different directions that you'd never see coming. The film does a good job of making you feel for these characters in a fun kind of way. I would say I was thoroughly entertained. This was a fun, thrilling adventure. A good ride, has some good horror elements. It has your cliche horror elements, and it also has your cliche characters. But the effective thing about it was fun. I had a good time. The story was cohesive enough. It does feel a little bit convoluted going on to the third act, but we still got two more movies, part 2 and part 3, that will flesh out some of the questions that you will ask yourself going into the part 1. I had to give Fear Street 1994 Part 1 a Christian Bale Batman. I was thoroughly entertained, and I cannot wait for Part 2. So guys, that's my review for Fear Street Part 1. Have you seen Fear Street Part 1? Comment below, let's talk about it, and I'll see you guys in my next review. And if you like everything you see and you agree, subscribe to my channel and join me in the Batman family. I'll have more Batman-tastic reviews in the way. You have been warned. Till then, try.